And live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, you're watching another episode of You're Human, and I'm Dakota Meyer. This is episode 28. Can't believe we've made it here. I'm sure you never thought I would say that. But this is the call-in show where nothing's off the table, where any question can be asked, and where we are all about getting better. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. So got up this morning. We had to go a little bit early today. I'm sure if you are one of our regulars that tunes in, you will notice that we are about an hour and a half early. I had to do that. Had to adjust it a little bit around my training schedule today. I got a bike ride at noon, so needed to get this knocked out, and so I appreciate you all being understanding and so accommodating. Not that you really had a choice, but I still appreciate it. What we got going on, Knives?
How's training going? What are you training for? This is the Ironman.
Well, I'm training for Ironman for next April, but right now I'm training for this 100-miler. I've got this 100-miler, Brazos Bend. I think that's how you say it. I don't know how you say it, but anyways, yeah, man, I'm feeling good. Getting these puppies dialed in, getting these old legs. These old legs got, sometimes I got to go to the farrier. You know what I mean, like the horseshoer.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that gets the old horse's feet dialed in. Sometimes I have to go to that and get these dogs, dialed in.
Yeah. So you have a few friends who've ran 100-mile races. What have they prepped you on? Like, did you buy new shoes? What are you going to do for like hydration, things of that nature?
I don't know. Like I'm really starting to look at it. Like I got two awesome friends, Dre and Keegan. And so they're training me right now. They're the same ones that train Nick Bear, right, for his. So they're the best in the business. Natasha, all of them, with that. So got them and we went for a run on I think Saturday. Maybe Saturday Sunday morning. We went for a run and I met them. And is that my kids? Yeah, my kids are out there. Anyways, my kids are home from school for Columbus Day. Thank God for that. And so anyways, we went out, we're training on Sunday, and they asked me, they said, so what's your support crew going to be for your 100-miler? I was like, I don't have one. They're like, huh? And I guess I didn't know that you need that. I'm new to this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In the Marine Corps, you don't get no support crew. You're either in or you're out. You know what I mean? Nobody's there helping you change your socks, making sure you're fed. You just don't have that. And so, I guess I need a support crew. So I'm getting one going. I got my buddy Toby's going to fly in. You've met Toby, I think. Yeah,
Toby's the man.
So Toby's flying in. He decided he's going to run a lap with me. Brandon said he's going to run a lap with me. Schmitty's coming in. He just had his hip replaced. So he ain't going to be able to run a lap, but he's going to come in and he's going to do the support. Like he's going to take care of us, make sure we got our nutrition. Mm-hmm. And then my buddy Ben Madden, who has and what's crazy, man, is that it's so cool because all these guys that are coming to run this with me, they are when you talk about the OGs in Dakota's life, mm-hmm. Ben Madden, Toby Young, Chris Schmidt, like when you talk Brandon, when you talk about like the OGs, they're all coming in and we're going to go down there and we're going to get after it, run this 100, right? So it's kind of like a cool thing and really excited about that. Lauren's going to come. Lauren was running. Did you see her running when you drove in?
I did not.
Lauren's down there running. She says she's going to run a lap with me.
How long is your lap? Or are you running for time?
I think it's about 13 miles. Wow. I haven't been able to figure it out, but like one lap's like 13 miles. So it's going to be like 8 laps.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge, man.
Right?
You are training real hard for this.
I am. I ran 15 miles Sunday morning.
Is that the longest you've ran outside of doing a marathon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran 6 this morning. I got a quick 6 in. I'm going to get, so I like it. Like it's been really good for me. It's been real good, so really excited about that. just dialing it in. So I got that 100-miler in December, and just picking them up and putting them down, as my buddy said.
You said you hate running. Is that changing?
No.
Still hate it?
Oh, I hate it.
It's because you said you loved it. That's why.
But I do hate swimming more than I hate running.
That's fun.
Yeah. So I got to get better at swimming. I kind of swim like this. You know what I mean? My hips go down. I'm kind of like Shakira with heavy hips.
Hips don't lie.
No. And so like I kind of plane through the water. So really, Dre's really working on me on getting my hips up and so just a lot of training.
Is that what you got going for the rest of the week?
Yeah. So I'm going to train again at noon. And then obviously working. I gotta be in Hawaii on Sunday for Hiring Our Heroes. So I'll be out there Sunday through Friday. So going to be out there at all the bases. So if you're watching this and you're at any of the bases next week in Hawaii, I'll be out there with the HOH crew. We'll be going around helping veterans, helping service members, veterans, spouses, all get meaningful employment. So it's going to be awesome. I'm going to talk to a ton of people out there. Going to be getting after it out there as well. So training doesn't stop just because we're on the road. So really a lot of exciting shit going on, Knives.
In the past, being on the road was always your Achilles heel, that when you had momentum, it would kind of curb that. What is the plan next week while you're on the road? How do you maintain training?
No plan.
No plan. What about diet wise? I mean, it seems like you're crushing it there.
Yeah. I mean, when I get there, I'm going to go grocery shopping. So I've been doing better about that. I mean, so yeah, just, the big key to dieting is, and I don't really call it dieting, just making better choices, is having better choices available.
Yeah, absolutely. On last week's pod, and I'm working on this clip right now, you mentioned like a fitness plan and taking inventory and writing down, does this help me lose weight or not? I've been doing that, and holy shit, there's a lot of things that bagels apparently aren't good for you.
Yeah. And like you can still eat majority of the shit you like, but you can make better choices. Most people don't understand of how many calories they're taking in daily. Majority of people, if you ask them, how many calories do you think you're taking in? And then you measured that, like most people don't know. And look, what doesn't get tracked doesn't get improved.
That's a fact. Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like something you have to do forever, but it's like an educational piece as to really making yourself consciously think about the things that you put in your body and where the problem is,
Do you eat like a dog? Like you eat the same thing every time so you don't have to track your calories, or are you still tracking them?
So I was tracking like all the way down to how much of a sauce I would put on something, because you don't understand like how many calories can be in just ketchup.
True.
Right. Like you think that it's no factor, right? I mean, you go to like you swing in by a fast food restaurant and you're usually walking out of there. If you get a burger or something like that and fries, and then you add the sauces and a drink, I mean, you're walking out of there about 700 to 1,000 calories just in that one meal, right? Just in that one meal. And so it's like, most people don't understand the repercussions of all this and how it all adds up. Right. And so, if I start getting way off track, I'll start tracking it. But right now, like I've been so hungry and I burning so many calories that I just eat, but I eat good stuff, right? Like I just make sure I'm eating what's available is healthy, good options. It's not about going and measuring and tweaking all this. It's just about making better choices.
Absolutely.
Like it's not this mission impossible, and it's not this extreme way of life and all this craziness. It's like, it's just making better choices. It's literally just making better choices. But I'll tell you what I think the problem is most people don't know what they don't know. Right. And so it's like, they see this extreme way of going at it, and it's not this, Chinese arithmetic. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, like if we could just take people through and go grocery shopping, and Rebecca Rouse is somebody with Simper Stronger who really, really made me understand that and really forced me to grow. Right. She's so educated on it. and really took me through and showed me a lot of that. And I just think that, like, look, I mean, were you taught anything about nutrition?
No.
Yeah, me either, right? Like our
I
parents.
used to drink Pepto-Bismol because I thought it was a strawberry milkshake when I was younger.
There you go. Our parents just thought, like, they just fed us. They didn't know either, I don't think, right?
Oh.
And their generation was when we started getting into more processed foods, whenever, you know, it wasn't this home cooked, it wasn't this farm grown, and then it started this processed foods. And so we are the, you know, results of that, and not understanding and challenging this nutrition piece. And so, and I think we're all, you know, we're all paying for it. And now it's time for us to break that cycle in order to do that.
How does it affect your parenthood?
I mean,
my kids still eat, you know, chicken nuggets and stuff like that.
I mean, my kids do sometimes, but they're now eating, like, when I'm making better choices, they make better choices.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they don't know the difference.
Right.
You know, and so, like, if I always say, if you look in the mirror and you're not who you don't look like, and your health is right now is not at where you want your children's health to be when they're your age, you need to fix it.
Yeah. That's real life right there, man.
It's real life.
I got a question here from Instagram. You get something like this a lot. What advice would you give yourself 15 years ago? So I suppose you would have been 20.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have listened, so it wouldn't have mattered, right? So that's the first thing. But I mean, I would have just, I guess, like, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. All your problems are you. All your problems are you. You know, I was running this morning, and this is the great thing about going out and training, is you get plenty of time to think about these things. And I was running this morning, and I was thinking about, you know, if we're all a boat in this big ocean of life, you know, and I've been really big on this why to what. Why to what? Why to what? Why to what? I got this book coming out. I really think it's going to help a lot of people. It's kind of crazy how everything is kind of coming to fruition of, like, you know, this time in life, and it's all just dialed in, and all these people that have been coming to me. And, you know, the why in your life is kind of like the current. It's kind of like the weather. It's always going to be there, right? It's always going to be changing, and, you know, you can't figure it out. The what's in your life are the anchors that are holding the boat back, right? The what's are what's dragging you backwards. And so, like, we've got to figure out, what is it that's causing you to not take action on that dream that you want to achieve? What is it that's holding you back from going after and getting after whatever it is that you want to accomplish? What is it that's keeping you from making the change that's going to make your life better? What is it? And we've all got to figure out what is. We think, Knives?
Yeah, just responding to some comments here. Why to what? I've been thinking about it, and it's been applying a lot to my life personally, and people that, if I can say, that I've maybe enabled in my life, you know, changing why am I doing this, or why am I helping them, to what can I do? What can I be? It's certainly a massive unlock, man. That book is going to change people's lives.
That's what it's all about. Changing lives, making the world a better place.
Got another question from IG. I'm moving from the UK to the US this December and want to become a fireman. Any tips?
Come on with it. Come to Texas. That'd be your first tip. You want to move to America. You want to move to the best state on really the globe, is you need to come to Texas. You know, they say there's two types of people in the world. There's Texans, and there's those that want to be Texans. And so if you're coming to the United States, move to Texas, best state on the planet. Wasn't born here, wasn't bred here, none of that. But I got here as soon as I could. But I would say, yeah. I mean, listen, there's plenty of job openings. I'll tell you this: you want to talk about the most unique thing you can be in the world today is to be a damn good person and want to help others. Because guess what? There are tons of opportunities for that. So come on with it.
God bless Texas. Got Billy from Facebook saying, I had to learn not to bleed on those that didn't cut me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I talk about that a lot in my book as well, about how hurt people hurt people. That's a reality. And when you think about that, and it doesn't, not intentionally. I mean, I hurt a ton of people, and I look back at all the people that I hurt and I pushed away and that I hurt just because I was hurt. And so I don't know, you ever seen, there was like this cartoon one time, and this bear was a really mean bear and all this. And, he would snap at people and fight. And really what it was he had a thorn in his paw. And, once they pulled that thorn out, the bear wasn't hurting anymore. And he was all kind and nice to everybody. And so I think that's the same with a lot of us. And I think that's the same with what's going on in society right now. I used this phrase the other day. Everybody's been so focused on leadership. You hear everybody with leadership. They're all about leadership. But I'll tell you what you don't hear a lot of is peopleship. You don't hear people trying to make people better. Like, hey, you need to be a better leader. Well, if you make them a better person, they're automatically going to be a better leader. And so what I'm doing, in my book is kind of like the start of it. And then kind of the process I'll release to you guys is we're going to start doing a week-long 5-day full immersion. Come out here and we're going to do a 5-day course on a reset. I call it the dash reset. I don't need to create anybody. I don't need to make good leaders. I don't need to make good people. They're already there, right? But we need to reset on people. We need to reset and really challenge how we're living, what we're doing, and show people and educate people on how to get mentally, physically, and emotionally stronger. And why do all those matter, right? Because when leadership only focuses on, you being mentally and physically stronger, right? And I know some of it does, or they say they do. But the emotional piece is where most people are very, very deficient at. And so what they do is they suppress all those emotions. And so then they become either cold and then they don't, they're really good in business. They're really good at objective. They're really good at black and white things, which everything is black and white. I want to say it up front. But what I will tell you is emotions are very, very critical. And so, if those three, your mental, physical, and emotional, if they're all three not strong and not dialed in the green of your gauges of life, then that's going to be your weakness, and everything is going to fail at that moment, right? It's kind of like when I'm flying a helicopter. When I'm flying a helicopter, I'm looking at my altimeter, I'm looking at my airspeed, and I'm looking at my rotor RPMs, right? And so because all three of those matter to me. All three of those are going to matter to me. And so if I have all three of those, the rest of them are going to be fine. And so even if I have an engine out, I can still get to the ground with the auto rotation. So I think with us in life, it's our mental, physical, and emotional piece and these gauges that we have to really watch, and we have to strengthen, we have to challenge, we have to build up, and we have to mature. And I think if we don't do that, one of them is going to be deficient to us and holding us back. And emotions, you need your emotional side to be a good leader. Because if you're not, you can only be as effective as you can be empathetic. And so when people aren't empathetic, it's not because they don't want to be, they can pretend like they don't care. It's just because they don't have the emotional maturity or the capacity to take more on because they've never built it up. It would be like leaving the physical aspect out, right? People who are physically out of shape are not going to be great leaders. They're just not all around. They're not going, they'll be great managers, but they're not going to be great leaders. And so, sometimes people coin the emotional as spiritual, whatever you want to call it, right? I think they both are the same thing, right? Emotional, spiritual is all the same thing because that's what God gave us to make us different. The love, the feelings, which are critical pieces to us being humans and taking care of each other. But all of these things have to coexist, and we have to, those are like the three foundational pieces to us being good people. And I think the reason you see a lot of people out there who are coming off as not good people, I think they are good people, but they just don't have, they've not been mentally, physically, and emotionally challenged and matured in a way to where they can present how they want to present. So they have to present who they are at that moment.
I just saw a Facebook memory from my personal Facebook, and it was this post that I made of yours 6 years ago, and it was one day you're going to be tested.
Yep.
And so if you haven't been tested physically, emotionally, like you said, it's going to happen one way or another on a long enough time horizon. So you might as well be prepared for it now. So I totally hear that.
Absolutely.
Sometimes this is from Instagram. Sometimes I can't see the light at the end. What keeps you going when you feel that way?
I think that's something that's common to all of us. So first off, it's like, let me just make you feel better by saying, I don't care who anybody is or where they're at in life or how much they think they've got it figured out. This is something that is not unique to you or any of us. It's something that we all feel, right? But I think that the more you push on and you get to that light, the more you just know that there's going to be the light there, right? It's like, I'm sure you've had moments in your life to where you didn't think that the sun was ever going to come up tomorrow because of whatever you were going through or what was on your mind. And guess what? The sun came up and you're here today. And so I think that the more you push on and you continue to push on, the more you get comfortable without that light because you know the light is going to be there.
First, thank you for serving. Second, do you have PTSD? Do you have any treatments for it?
I did have PTSD. I'll say that. Look, I think that, the whole aspect with PTSD that I think the narrative is wrong is that PTSD is we present it like it's a terminal illness. And PTSD, depression, and anxiety, they're not terminal illnesses, they're injuries. And so, but the issue is that when you don't go fix your injury, when you don't go and if you have a broken leg and you keep running around on it, is your broken leg going to get better or worse? It's the same thing with also if you have a broken leg and then you just, never run on it again because you never want to hurt it again. Are you going to get better or worse either, right? That leg's still going to get weaker. It's still going to get bad. It's still not going to get as good as it was. So I think that it's the same thing with mental health. We've got to normalize mental health, and it's got to be no different. Like mental health has got to be treated no different than an injury, a physical injury, mental injury. They're all the same.
Question from Dan on Facebook. How do you shut down to rest and renew?
I shut down every night. I go to sleep. I plan when I go to sleep. My day starts when I go to bed, not when I wake up. I start planning when I go to bed because that's the biggest effect it's going to have on my next day. So I go to bed at the time that I need to get my 7 to 8 hours of sleep in. People just have to be more intentional. They have to be more intentional with what they do. And they have to think about, how does this affect me? And so, as far as shutting down, I guess if that's what you're talking about, I get plenty of rest. I love my sleep. I just make sure that my 16 hours that I'm out there getting after it, that I'm getting after it, right? It's about being effective and efficient. We all have time to do the things that we want to do. It's about looking at where we're investing our time right now. The people that we're spending time with, are they helping us get to where we want to be? Right? Or do we even want to be where we say we want to be? Right? A lot of times we say shit and we don't even haven't put any thought into if it's truly what we want, or it's because it's what we think what we want. And it's like, if your actions don't match your words, then there's a disconnect there, and you need to really challenge that and fix it.
Well said. Top 3 book recommendations.
I don't know. There's so many, right? Atomic Habits. You've got, I'm sitting here looking at a bunch of Make Your Bed. Admiral McRaven's books are just off the charts as far as making you better, right? all the Jocko books. I mean, there's so many of them out there.
Hell yeah. What was your most spectacular failure and what did you learn from it?
I mean, we've talked about this all the time. I mean, it's September 8, 2009, the day that, I failed at saving my team. And I mean, I learned everything from it. I mean, it's what made me who I am today, as far as making sure that hard lesson, it was etched in my every moral fiber of my being, so that I would go out and make sure that I knew tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. I knew that my relationships with people, that every time that they walk out of my sight, it might be the last time that I ever got to be around them. So be more intentional with who you spend your time with. Be more intentional with what you say and what you do. And it's about quality. It's not about quantity. And so all those aspects, and it taught me to look in the mirror and say, their lives that they gave was so much more than just for freedom. It was for me to grow. Even the enemy that died that day, I learned so much from every single life that died that day. And it's my obligation to take those lessons, to learn from them, to apply them, and to go out and live a life that's worthy and represents the lives that they gave so that we could live. And so that was probably the biggest lesson in my life.
Absolutely. Can we as men just start over, even with a wife and kids, etc.? I'm lost and I'm almost 50.
Absolutely. We start over every day. Every day is a start over. And so absolutely. Can we start over? Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Wow. Start day one. Let's go right here. So absolutely. I mean, we all feel lost sometimes. And so there's nothing, I'll tell you, the biggest mistakes that I've made in life, I was telling somebody this the other day, is when I wasn't willing to make the change that I knew I needed to change, all because I wasn't willing to say I got it wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's kind of like going out in a boat and why are you going to ride the boat all the way down? If the boat's sinking, either repair it, and if it ain't repairable, get off of it, but don't keep sitting around trying to ignore the water when it's neck deep. And so for me, it's like, whether it's business or relationships or friendships, I don't know how many times that I have held on to things way too long for the simple fact that I would have to admit that I got it wrong, which is fine, or that I need a change, right? Like, it's no factor. But what's crazy is when you keep riding the boat down.
Got a question from Facebook. What is your view on the Israel situation right now?
It's horrible. It is horrible. I'll tell you it's horrible. I hope that I haven't seen shit that's made me want to sign up again and go fight since this right here it's horrible. I don't just stand with Israel because of the country that they are. I stand with good, and I stand with people who are good, and I stand with the innocent, and I stand with that. And like, these fucking people are savages, and we should slice their fucking throats off. And I hope that Israel goes in, and I hope that what we haven't done in a long time is we haven't made these animals pay like they do us. We have not made war nasty enough, and we need to get after it. We need to go in there and we need to just slice their throats. I mean, I think that we got to go back to fighting these animals like animals. And listen, when they want to take the gloves off and they want to let people go fight them like animals, like, I'll sign up today.
Best things to drop off for firefighters. When I got that question, I didn't know that that's a thing, that you drop things off for firefighters.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, a lot of, not food. A lot of places aren't going to take food. Some places will. It's
got a call.
Oh, we got a call.
Oh, disappeared.
Food. Hey, it's Dakota with your Human Podcast.
Yeah, man.
What's
Tell you
up?
what, you guys, I don't know what y'all got going
What's
on.
up, man?
I know you're gonna read what I said and then act like you didn't even know who it was, dude.
What? What are you doing?
I'm on vacation, actually, man.
You're on vacation?
Yeah, up here in the hills of Georgia. I decided to break my Jeep out, drop the top, take the doors off, and decompress, man.
Man, you deserve it. How many miles did you put in the last couple of weeks?
Last couple of weeks, probably no more than about 10 grand.
Golly, 10 grand?
Yeah, 800 a day. So yeah,
man.
I don't know. I quit keeping track of them, man. But
well, you doing good?
I hated. Yeah, doing real good. I hated to interrupt you, man, because there's some good stuff today you got going there, man.
Well, I appreciate you. No, listen, you don't ever interrupt me. You always need to call me. I like to hear your voice.
I know. I had a girl tell me that last night. She liked my voice. I was like, dude, we live old Cajun in South Carolina too.
Man, you got that Cajun. I think it's that Cajun. They like that spice.
That might be what it is, man.
What are you going? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do to decompress?
I've been going to a few Jeep shows, just cruising the mountains. Like I said, with the top down and everything. So really ain't done a whole lot of anything, man. Just threw my hammock up and decided to lay back for a little while.
Man, you're the man. I love it.
Nah. But man, I was going to tell you too. I agree 100% with you on the whole Israel thing. I mean, that's the only way we're going to be able to do anything is fight these animals like an animal.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just horrible. Like, it's one thing when you go after military to military, like, you know what? It's like MMA fighters, getting in the ring. But man, when you start going after the innocent, I mean, I just read some reports that came out that, these Hamas guys were going in and they were beheading the babies. They were beheading the kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, and we've got Congress, like we've got Ilhan Omar up there still with the flag up. Like, how is this woman even, how does she, I mean, she is a terrorist. Like, how is this woman even, who elects her?
That's just it. I mean, she's, the whole squad, as far as I'm concerned, that are like that, with those same views.
Yeah.
They've just infiltrated Congress and the Senate and everything else. And, we're just letting a lot of people vote that don't even have the mental capacity to order a fucking Big Mac meal.
Yeah.
They're just doing it for,
I think we should send her over there and let her live with them.
Exactly. Yeah, let her go over there and live.
Hell yeah.
But that's what's wrong. I mean, we're going to have to take some gloves off, drop some ROE, and just let everybody go. Animals like your animals.
I mean, I think this is, I'd say if this thing's still going on in 10 days, it's going to get big.
Dude, Netanyahu said that it just got started. And then you got people in D.C., calling for a ceasefire and all that. Did you invade this country and start murdering women and children and beheading them and stuff? No, you pay the price. You pay the price. Don't talk about a ceasefire.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. You quote me right now. If there's a terrorist attack that came through the border, you can guarantee that there's not a Democrat on the face of the fucking planet that'll get reelected.
No, you're exactly.
Yeah. And
it's going to take something like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for people to open their eyes, and quit with this.
And look, and listen, I ain't saying that the Republicans are any better than Democrats. I am not, by no means am I saying that, because they are both as, like, I'll tell you this, the leadership that we have up there in DC is not a representation of the United States of America, by no means. But I got to tell you, like, we got to start holding each other accountable. Like, you can't, I mean, the squad up there, I mean, they've got to be held accountable. Like, there is no chance. I mean, you want to talk about what's messed up? Look at our education system coming out to stand with, to stand, against Israel. Like this is why this is what's messing our kids up.
It is what's messing our kids up, and until we come together and get a grip on that and get some of these elected officials out of office that, that literally die in fucking office of old age.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of sense does that make?
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about, human rights. Listen, send all these people who want human rights, which I think human rights are the number one right, but like we send them over there with all these people they're supporting and let them see what these human rights that they have. You know what I mean? Like it is insane.
Dude, I'm going to tell you something, man. And coming from a Jeep event, just came from about 500 Jeeps. Every damn one of them had a 2A sticker on the window and all this. And you look at these guys and, their Jeeps look like they literally just left Starbucks or the mall or whatever, and, man, round up some of these 2A guys.
Let's go.
Send them. Let's
Shit,
go.
we don't want to send them. We need them here. We need these 2A guys here. That's what keeps this country safe.
Yeah. Well, until people decide to start throwing some tea over the harbor again. Yeah, this damn country ain't gonna get no better.
But I don't think it's bad, right? Like
it's not bad like that. That's not.
Yeah, I mean, I think I hear you. I think that. Yeah, I mean, I think the next generation is gonna fix it though. I do believe that.
Well, all we can do is hope for it, man.
Man.
But that whole situation. If they're just like ISIS, man. I mean, fight them
yeah, this is just an advanced ISIS. I mean, we need to go over and just slit their throats. And I'm not talking sideways. I'm talking like run the tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm in. You give me you don't even have to pay me. I just give me sharp knives. That's right.
Hey, that's the way it's gonna have to be, man. And people start opening their eyes. But until we do something in DC, that's just like with truckers. When we shut down DC with all of our trucks, what was it, last year? I mean, hell, we didn't even get anybody's attention then.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got so many regulations against us now. It's
crazy, isn't it?
I'm getting ready to stop driving, man. I'm telling you.
Man, well, hey, I hope you have a good day in your hammock. You deserve it,
sir, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in. It always makes my day.
All right, brother.
Have a great day.
Have a good one.
See you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Bye. We think knives.
I'm so fucking ignorant. Like, I don't know. I'm not up to speed on Israel personally. I saw missiles being dropped and the news was covering it, but I didn't know that there was something it's just more fucked up than ISIS that's over there.
They're fucked up. Hey, it's Dakota with Your Human Podcast.
Hey, Dakota, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. My name's Jake. I'm from Jersey.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, man?
Not much. So I'm looking for a little bit of advice because I'm in a shit situation in life right now, if you don't mind.
Let's hear it.
So my dad I still live at home. I'm in the process of looking for a house, but my dad just got really hurt. He broke 5 ribs, almost punctured his lung, his shoulder's all fucked up. And he's in a rough spot right now. And I actually work with him. So I'm taking on a lot of the workload, a lot of everything of the home life that he does, and trying to live my own life at the same time. I'm so overwhelmed with it all. I don't even know what to do with myself. And then I find myself doing nothing at all because I'm so wrapped up in it.
Yeah, that sucks. So first off, I'm going to say I'm sorry. That's a hard situation to be in. Here's what I'd tell you. This too shall pass, right? Like everything you just told me, he's going to heal from it. You're talking, 8 weeks. He'll be back kicking. You can do anything for 8 weeks, right? And
absolutely.
But here's what I'll tell you is you need to come up with a plan.
Okay.
Your plan. What are you going to do? You know, after this 8 weeks, I mean, obviously you're in this situation right now, but after this 8 weeks, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to, obviously helping out with the business, this and that, and that's your job anyways, right? But you're taking on these other obligations, but man, moving out, I mean, I would get that plan together. You know what I mean?
I got you. I see what you're saying, though.
Like, you need to come up with a plan on what you're going to do. I mean, look, it's 8 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks. At 8 weeks, he'll be back. He'll be back kicking. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to be full bore, but he's going to recover. He's going to be fine. So there's that piece of it, right? So this isn't a forever thing, right? Like all these other things you're taking on. And then, but after that, man, like by the time he's back to kicking, you better use this next 8 weeks where you're taking all this on to be really thinking about what changes you need to make. Use this as an opportunity. This is an opportunity for you to kind of slow it down and formulate a rock solid plan and to pressure test it. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've never had it put like that, to be honest. So that helps a lot.
Yeah. So man, this right here should be a really, hey, I know it seems chaotic, but it's going to be a blessing in disguise if you choose to use it. You can look at it as an obstacle, or you can turn it into an opportunity. And I'd tell you that, man, what I hear is a badass opportunity for you to really set your dad up, for when you move out, to be on a good foot, and then also for you to slow down and to make very, very calculated decisions on what your priorities are going to be going forward, what you need to change, and what you're going to do to get to where you want to be. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And I very much appreciate that, because it's hard when you're stuck in the moment to take a step back and realize the opportunity you have in front of you when you're just seeing it as chaos.
Yeah, man. Listen, you're in the trenches, right? You're in the trenches, but it's going to get better, right? It's going to get better. And look, every day that you get through it, it's going to get better. And really, I mean, look at it. Here's the reality is, let me say this to you. Here's all you're getting right now is you're getting fast forward. I don't know how old your dad is, but fast forward 20 years, you working, it's your dad's business, right?
We work for the same company.
Okay.
But he's the supervisor, or under the owner. So there's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah. So here, let me tell you what you're getting right now. You ready for this? You're getting a preview of if you want to stay with this company and if you want to take on all these responsibilities when you take your dad's spot next.
Yeah, you're right.
So you know what I mean? Like you're getting a firsthand tryout as to if this is the life you want to keep choosing, if this is the job, if this is the career that you want to keep pursuing, because you're just going ahead and getting a free tryout on it right now, right? So in this, I understand all the chaos, but this is an opportunity, and these things you're able to experience these things before you go and spend another 20 years thinking you might want to.
That's true.
You're getting to look at it right now, and so either you like it or you don't, and if you don't like it,
then it's time to really make some changes overall.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Okay. So I hear you, man. It's not, by no means can I say anything that's going to make it any easier or any less chaotic, but the reality is you're getting a trial run for the next, 4 weeks for sure at what your life looks like, in 10 to 15 to 20 years.
Very true. Wow. That's
So
a hell of a thing to perspective.
So there you go, right? There you go. I appreciate you calling, man. I hope it all gets better. I hope your dad heals up, and man, I hope this helps you formulate a plan that really gets you to where you want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, and thank you for obviously everything you've done, and you really helped me out and gave me that kick in the ass that I needed today.
I appreciate you, brother. Hey, go out and do something good today.
Absolutely.
See you,
Thank
man.
you so much for the rest of your day.
Take care. Bye-bye. What an awesome guy.
Dude, everybody needs a Dakota Meyer in their life.
I don't know
You
about
just know how
that.
to put things into perspective, man.
My kids would not agree.
Well, just one man's opinion. Who is a person or persons that you've had in your life that's most shaped? We'll get back to that.
Hey, it's Dakota with Your Human Podcast.
Hey.
What's going on?
So I was listening earlier. You were talking about mental and physical and all that.
Yeah.
When you got out of the military, what did you do to help help yourself interact with civilians, and as well, what did you do to help yourself get motivated to want to work out, like physically, like getting back to like getting in shape and stuff like that?
Yeah, great question. I was one of the guys that got out and I was not good at any of that. And it was almost like, so I think when you go in the military, I think you get mentally and physically stronger. Like they are very, very good at that. But I think what they leave behind is like your emotional maturity stays at about the level of when you came in. I think it stunts it. And so for me, when I got out, I wasn't going to work out again because of how immature I was. And it was going to be like a rebellion state of I'm never working out again because I worked out so much in the Marine Corps, right? It was stupid. It was immature, and it was at the expense of my own mental health, my physical health. And so, what I tell you is just start doing something, right? You felt good while you were in, everybody wants to go and talk about the days that they were in. Well, we were all working out and training and busting our ass and challenging ourselves. So, take those qualities that made you proud to be a service member and start applying those to be a damn good civilian. And then the part as far as talking to civilians, I don't know how long you were in, but what really put things in perspective for me was, the day I don't tell people I'm a Marine anymore. Like, I think it's disrespectful for me to tell people I'm a Marine today when you've got men and women who are sacrificing and putting on the uniform and doing what it takes to earn that title every single day. I'm not a Marine anymore. Now I'm a civilian. And so, being able to be the best civilian that I'm going to be. And when you think about it, I only served 4 years in the military. I'm going to serve how many years as a civilian? So I better, if I want to have the most impact on the world and I want to have purpose and I want to serve, the service it doesn't stop while I was in. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so going out, listen, civilians love people. I mean, at the end of the day, a service member is nothing more than a civilian that wears a uniform.
And my fiance, she's really trying to get on me about, because I've had stints where I would want to work out, but then I would just let it go because I don't just think I have the mentality to just push myself to really want to keep on doing it. Like she's steady trying to put her foot up my tail end because we have an 8-year-old son together.
Yep.
So, and she's like, he's going to be wanting to, throw around a football or a baseball or want you to run around with them.
And she's your fiance?
Yes.
Man, she's going to choose you to be her husband for the rest of her life. And if you don't look in the mirror and see somebody that she deserves to be married to, then you need to fix that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like, you have that
Right.
power. And I'll tell you, man, I hear you, but man, you got a son that you need to show what it's like to be a man. And you got all these abilities and you're in the military. And getting out of the military, if you're still going to tell people you served, well, what are you doing today to earn that title of being a service member? You know what I mean? Like that uniform, the only difference in today versus versus when you were serving is a uniform. But to be honest, you got more people relying on you now, and you're making more impact on people's lives, especially now that you have a son and then you got a fiance. You got more, like, these people are relying on you just as much as your brothers and sisters that were wearing the uniform, if not more.
Yeah, like I said, I just like I lose, like because I'll do it, like I'll start working out, then I'll just lose the interest like really quick, like real fast.
You got anybody around you? You got any friends?
I don't really like, and that's where the mental part comes in. I don't really associate with too many people.
Do you drink?
Oh no, I quit drinking as soon as I found out that my son was mine. I pretty much quit cold turkey.
Hell yeah. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you for that. Well, you need to get you a tribe, man. You seem like a nice guy.
I'm working for the post office.
You work for the post office, so you get to talk to people all day long.
No, well, yeah, but I work in a plant. But it's like a lot of people, I don't really talk to a lot of people because of, I just.
Here's what I want you to do.
Mental.
Here's what I ask you to do. Every day, I want you to pick out just 3 people that nobody's talking to, that you pass by, whether it's in stores or whatever else. And I just want you to tell them, hey, have a great day. Oh, I like your shoes. I like your shirt. I want you to do 3 people like that a day.
All right.
And then you'll start talking to people. You'll see that you add value. You'll start, you got to look, did you show up in the military and just all of a sudden start knowing how to talk and knowing all the like, you didn't know how to talk to service members when you first got there, did you?
I never really hung, like, even before I came in, I never, besides like family and friends from like high school and just school and being a kid, I just never really hung out with people in general besides them.
You're an introvert. Well, man, you just gotta go out. You just gotta look. If you want things to change and you understand that it's going to be better for you and your family, you just got to make the commitment and start changing it, right? And it's one person at a time. Like, you seem like a nice guy. I mean, well, you got a son that's, going to learn so much from you, and it's like you got to be learning too. And it's going to push you. I mean, how are you going to interact with dads when you're out there and he's playing football? You know what I mean? You got to start practicing now. And your fiance wants you to do that, right? And so maybe you and her start going and doing things, talking to people and meeting people. I mean, you don't need 100 people, but man, why don't you go join a gym where it's a community, like where people work out together, right? Like CrossFit gyms are good, or any of those types of gyms. Like, go and start somewhere.
And she has a membership with the YMCA.
Well, that's a perfect spot. Go do that. Like, you'll feel better. I promise you, you will feel better. Have you ever worked out and then regretted working out?
Not really. As a civilian, yes, all the time.
But see, you're making this civilian versus military thing like it's a real thing, and that's all in your head. Like, you're making it out like, what's the difference in you and a civilian? What's the difference?
I'm past a loud area. So.
Oh, it's all good. What's the difference in you and a civilian? Like, what is the difference in you and a civilian? Nothing. You all have more in common than you do than you don't have in common, right? You got more qualities in common than you don't.
I definitely appreciate it because I gotta get back in here and
All
clock
right.
in.
Have fun, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
I hope you have a good day.
You too. Thank
See you,
you.
man. Bye. What do you think, Knives?
I think he struck a chord with that guy.
You know, maybe. I hope.
think he
Yeah, I
did.
mean, you know, like that military versus civilian, like all military is civilians that wear a uniform, you know, and we're all civilians longer than we are in the service. And it's like, you know, you can't be a good service member if you're not a damn good civilian.
Yes, sir. Got a question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Changing the world, baby. Changing the world.
That's for sure. The mission stays the same. If you could eat one type of food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Hershey bar.
That's honest. You really love them Hershey's.
Love them Hershey's.
And this is kind of on topic from our last call. Biggest difficulty transitioning back to civilian life post-military?
Changing the way I think, right? That was the biggest piece, was changing the way I think. Like understanding it's really just an identity crisis. It is a identity crisis. And so, you know, just changing the way I think, and the world, everything's good. Like the world's great. Civilians are great. And realizing that, you know, like I am a civilian, but we put this in our head that we're military, we're not civilians. And it's like, no, we are civilians that serve. Like that's what it is. There's no fucking difference other than the fact that we have a different job. Hey, it's Dakota with Your Human Podcast.
Hey, Dakota, what's up, big dog?
What's up, man?
Hey, this is Coal Miner Shane.
I know who it is. I recognize that voice.
That country talk.
Yeah, I knew. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing good. Doing a little bit of hunting right now.
How's the family?
Family's good. Doing real good.
Did you get any of those dry land fish?
Huh?
Did you get any ginseng? You were ginseng hunting.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've got a little bit.
You did?
Not much. I didn't find that much this year, and it's just about dead almost where you can't
see it.
It's impossible to find it right now.
Man, I'm sorry. Well, what's going on?
It's just being out in the woods and just being to myself and just, you know, enjoying the woods. That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Is the family good?
Getting out and enjoying what you like doing. Whatever anybody likes doing, just get out and do it.
Just get out and do it, right?
That's right.
What's going on?
Called in. I hadn't talked to you for a while. I haven't watched the show in a couple of weeks, which, you know, I've been out in the woods a lot, and I just wanted to call in and say hello and tell you I'm still in there kicking. I'm alive.
Man, I got to tell you, it's always good to hear your voice too. You know, I got a couple of y'all that call in, and, you know, when I don't hear from you in a couple of weeks, you know, I'm going to have to start sending out a recon unit to come check on you. You know what I mean? I'm going to make sure you're not cornered up somewhere and you don't need some backup, you know?
Well, I tell you, the backup's good in some situations. Well, I tell you, where I go, I don't believe a recon team's going to find me.
Well,
I don't know these woods like I do.
Oh, I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. Well, is everybody good then in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, how about you?
Man, they're all good. If they're any better, I wouldn't know what to say.
I just don't know. Well, I just don't know what to think. What's going on over in Israel right now?
You know,
this world's just terrible.
Well, it ain't, right. You know, it's a horrible. It's horrible for what they're going through. It's terrible, but at the end of the day, this too shall pass. And you know, it's something that yeah, our hearts hurt for them. They're gonna get through this, and they've got our support and our love, and you know, it's another reason to be thankful that we're Americans and that we live in this great state, this great, you know, this great nation, and you know, that we get to live where we are. Be thankful for where we are.
Well, you're exactly right. And those, I know all. If you're any kind of American at all, Dakota, you just feel for these people.
You do.
What's being done, not just to men, women, innocent women and children, just being slaughtered out in the streets.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It's just, it's heartbreaking. It really is.
It is. It is. But you know.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, you got to keep pushing.
You got to keep pushing, and it's why we still got to make great people. You know what I mean? Look, I think there's only two types of people in the world. There's good and evil, and it's not based off it's not based off their actions. It's based off their intentions. Yep. And you know, I just look. You know, everybody wants to get into all these demographics and all this craziness, and it's like, man, there's only two types of people in this world. That's good and evil. And then outside that, if you ain't good, then you're damn evil. And there's only one way to deal with evil. You know.
Barbaric, that's right.
100%. And you know, I can simplify all these problems we got down to this, and we're seeing this unfold on us. I tell you, Netanyahu, it's awesome to see a leader like that step up, and he's going to go and release hell on these pieces of shit.
Yeah, they are. Every one of them's a piece of shit.
That's right. That's right. But you know what? We get to be Americans. Thankful for the men and women that protect us here. Thankful for our law enforcement. Thankful for our border patrol. Thankful for all the men and women that put on the uniform to go out and make sure that this stuff doesn't happen here.
That's right. But you know what, Dakota, one thing, there's a lot of people in this great nation that we live in that don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
They could care less. They could care less. There's a lot of them here in West Virginia. I know people. I don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah, well, you do care about them because
I do.
You do, you know, and what I'll tell you is this, is you know what, being good people, it can't be conditional on if people appreciate it.
Yes, yep.
You know what I mean? It just can't be. And it's like there's so many people who are living conditional. Well, I'm only going to care about people if they care about me, or all this crazy shit. And it's like we've got to be unconditional people who are sound and know why we get up and what we go out to do every day. We've got to be unconditional people in a conditional world. You know what I mean? We can't just and that's what's going to change the world is when we become unconditional.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's what you are. You know what I mean? As much as we want to, yeah, man, do those people frustrate me and all that? They do. But you know what? I'd still die for them.
Yeah, I would too.
Because it's the right thing to do.
That's right. It is.
Right and wrong is not conditional. You know?
Yeah, I know.
And you're a good guy. I hope I meet you one day.
Well, hey, invitation always down here in West Virginia. You know how we are.
Listen,
country folks.
I'd just roll up. I'd roll up and
in, man.
I'd roll up and y'all just welcome me on in.
Yeah. Wouldn't have a problem.
I love it, man. I appreciate you. Man, it means the world that you took time out of your day and called me today.
Yep, I'm getting ready to go hunt a couple hours before it gets dark, and I'm gonna go up on the hill here and see if I can't pull me a few roots. But I just wanted to call in and say, hey, what's up, brother?
All right, man. Hey, I hope to hear from you soon. And listen, I hope you pull up some roots today.
I hope I do too, man.
All right, see you, brother.
All right,
bye. Man, what a way to end it.
I love that guy.
I love that guy.
Pull some roots. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, man, dude, what a guy, what a guy, you know, and that's the backbone of America. I don't, you know, you can look at all these, you know, all these people got all these opinions. I mean, that's the backbone of America right there. You know, that right there, when people ask me why I'm not worried about America, it's because of people like him. You know, that's the anchors of us. That's the anchors of this great country is men like that and people like that. And, you know, things don't have to be complex. They don't have to be complicated. You know, it's good and bad. It's right and wrong. It's truth and lies. I mean, that's the world. And the people who don't want to live by those things are people who are trying to the people, oh, my truth. Like, that's the biggest bullshit lie ever, right? Those are the people you got to worry about, is people who tell you it's their truth, right? There is no such thing as your truth, my truth. There is the truth. And there is right and wrong. And it's not you're right, my right, you're wrong. Like, all that stuff is just, it's made up alternate reality bullshit. And so, you know, it's good people like that. And that's what this show's all about is, you know, you got a man out, a coal miner out in West Virginia. You got a trucker, you know, you got these people who are the pillars of the backbones of this great nation, and still the people that go out there and are going to do the right thing. And that's what gives me hope in such a crazy, chaotic time. It gives me hope for my children, and it gives me hope for the future. And, I believe that if we stay focused on those types of people, the rest is going to find its place. And eventually, you know, these people who've gone way off the reservation, they're going to come back, and they're going to see that, you know, simple doesn't mean easy, but it means consistency. And it's a, you know, there's only hope through truth. There's only hope through absolutes. There's only hope through, you know, living in a world that's black and white, to where there can be objective way of thinking and a way to make changes, because all the problems we face today are problems that were made by people. And it's going to take people like you all to go out and help fix these problems. And it can't be only fixing our own problems. It's got to be fix our own problems first, and then go help our neighbor fix their problems. And the only way we do that is through truth. You've never fixed a problem with lies. And that's fact. So I hope you all have a great week. I appreciate every single one of you all. I'll be in Hawaii next week, so I don't know how we're going to do this podcast. We might have to skip it next week, but that's part of it. And we will get back after it when we are back on the ground. I hope you all have a great week. Keep owning it.